Hello and welcome to PM Personality Profile. My name is Nana Ansakwa IV, Chief of the only republic within the republic, Akwamu Edumasa. You know that already. Now, this is not new to you, but it may be new. Why? Because most of the guests that I have fairly old, fairly accomplished, and then I get them and then I share the story. But today it's the other way around. My guest is quite young, but there's something in his story that I wish to share, particularly with the younger generation. Those who think that to arrive or to be, respected, you must toe the Western line. You have more American, more German, more English to be a modern person. And so here's a young man who has chosen a different path of blackness, path of culture, a path of us, who believes that whenever people are called to the table to show what they have, you don't show what somebody created, but you show what you brought onto the table. And I thought it's a profound principle that, most young people should know and hear. That's why I invited him on the show to hear his story. Folks, when I come back, I'm talking to Fabrimpong Achiampong. Don't go away. Well, thank you very much for staying, and we are back. This is the interesting part, and I want to say thank you very much to Crown Apartamento right here in Airport Residential Area, who's giving us a lovely courtyard to sit, relax and do our interview. So Crown Apartamento, thank you very much. But thank you very much, Fabrimpong.
Thank you so much too.
Good.
I'm so grateful for the invitation.
Well, I'm honored because most of my guests are older than me. Today I have a guest that I am older than.
That's very good.
Let me, before we come back to all your traditional beliefs, let's go back to the beginning. Because I know you're born in Ebri.
Yes, please.
And you started school in Ebri. Tell me some of your Ebri beginnings.
In fact, as you rightly said, I was born in Ebri, specifically Esuofum.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the paternal side of my mother.
Okay.
And then I started schooling at Obuadaka.
Okay.
Obuadaka, do you know that?
No, I don't.
Obuadaka is a suburb of Ebri.
Okay.
We have a village there made up of about 3 rooms. And that's where I started schooling.
Okay.
In as much as I started my basic education as far as class 1 is concerned there.
Okay.
I started my nursery education at Urban Council in Sawam. Yes. And then from Obuadaka, I continued at Ebri.
Okay.
And then...
So then you come up.
Sure. Kind of evolution. And then from Ebri, I got a scholarship to Tema. So that's how I moved to Tema. And I didn't go back to live permanently at Ebri again. So I just moved on at Tema. But I've not traveled outside the country before. So I just, when I got to Tema, I realized in comparing the life there to that of Ebri and the other villages, I realized as compared to those who have traveled outside the country to spend almost their entire life there, there were basic things I only needed to know about life, not necessarily by traveling and trying to live like a white man, but at the end of the day, life is all about knowing the truth, true principles. Spirituality everything has to do with that. So
okay, we'll get to spirituality. But when you came to Tema, did your parents come to Tema, or your parents were still at Ebri?
Oh, in fact, I came to Tema to live with Nana Kwetie Kumapem, who is the Sanahene of Adam Robe.
Okay.
He actually paid all my school fees, fed me. He was just, there was no difference between him and my parents.
Wow.
As far as love and caring is concerned. So my parents used to visit me occasionally I also came back to spend some few days, as in holidays at Ebri, but I never really came back to Ebri again.
So you're a Tema boy?
More or less.
I see. Now, maybe a silly question, but you know, why did Nana suddenly take up your tuition or your upkeep? What happened?
Yeah, in fact, when I was in Ebri, my parents at a point in time faced some financial difficulties, and it got to a point where I decided to quit schooling. Why? Because I didn't like canes at all. I always wanted to know the right thing and do it. I feared canes. I feared insults. There were so many things that I didn't like at all in my life. In as much as it was part of the upbringing processes, cane was something I didn't like at all. And at a point in time, the teachers used to come around when we were busy learning, and only to mention the names of those who are owing school fees and cane us. So it continued for some time, and I said, no, I won't continue again. And it was not to say I was fed up with schooling, but it was just as a result of the caning. So when I stopped, about 2 weeks later, there was one of our teachers, our tree teacher, precisely Mrs. Christiana Akonobianto. I think I can boast that I topped most of the subjects, including the Equapim tree. Why? Because I have the upper hand of being taught how to read and write the Equapim tree by my mother before I started my official education.
Was your mom a teacher?
No.
Or she just decided to teach you?
To teach me.
It's very, very impressive.
Sure. And my father also played a major role in terms of leading me to question almost everything at that age. So when she realized that, in fact, the day our teacher in question met me, I was taking my younger brother to school, a nursery by then. And when she met me, she asked me why I wasn't coming to school. I couldn't tell her the problem, but I only told her I'll come. And then she said, no, I'm not someone who actually absent myself regularly. So if there is a problem, I should tell her. So I just decided, I told her I'll come to her in the evening. After I explained it to her, then she asked me whether if I get someone to continue paying my fees, I wouldn't have any problem at all. And I said yes. So in the long run, my parents met with herself and Nana Kweti Ekumapem, and they agreed that I'll have to continue my schooling. And at a point in time, just about a month later, this man, the chief, Nana Kwetia, told us that he wants me to come and live with him in Tema. And prior to that, I had never traveled outside my comfort zone like that before. Neither do I know much about life outside my...
Ebri and Adabrobe, and what's the other one?
Obwadaka. And Notum. Notum is made up of 3 rooms. No, not rooms, houses. 3 houses.
That forms the whole village?
Yes. And in Noto, you know Noto, or Doto.
Okay.
So Notum is the plural, like in Notum.
Okay. Okay.
So it's a typical village. Just that you have access to all the fresh water and the natural life of as provided by nature.
So you moved to Tema?
I moved to Tema.
Now, you see, I'd say you are a traditionalist.
Not really a traditionalist in terms of...
No, anytime you say traditionalist, somebody thinks it's man. I mean, you believe in tradition.
Tradition, sure.
Anytime I say I'm a traditionalist, people look around to see if there are talismans or if I'm going to do a charm
or there are blood dripping from you.
So you believe in traditions and you believe in spirituality, you know, but you're a young man. Yeah. I'm curious to find out, like at what stage did you start questioning faith and, adapting that role? Because young men of these days, it's very fashionable to be more westernized than it is to be more African. So what happened and when?
I usually don't talk much about destiny, but I maybe for some reasons.
Maybe you have to give me a scoop here.
Yeah. I was fortunate enough to be led into questioning everything, including the existence of God, by my father.
Okay.
He didn't actually tell me to doubt the existence of God per se, but he asked me not to just believe anything for believing's sake. He asked me to investigate into evidence, into truth, rather than bowing before tyrants. In as much I wasn't so courageous at that point in time, deep within, at the subconscious level, which records everything, whether you've started speaking or not, I think there were some things that actually transpired that I can't know all. But as far as I can remember, I have never believed in the mainstream blindly, whether it's education, religion, whatsoever, even governmental, economical, statistical, all the big English. I always want to research into things myself so I can break it down to someone who knows absolutely nothing about the topic in question.
Did your friends, when you're growing up, think, you're too argumentative?
In fact, I wasn't. I was the shy type in a way, and I was reserved. When people are speaking, I just enjoy listening to it, but I draw my own conclusions without telling them anything. So I can sit there for like 5 hours just listening to people chatting, and I was more quite observant at that time because I was able to watch people from afar. Even if I've been sent to go and buy something, I'll be able to watch a particular number of people who are sitting down discussing things, and then I will just take note of all their voices. When I get close to them, I only greet without looking at their faces and pass by, and I'll be able to listen to every word everyone said, and based on that I'll be able to conclude or form the character traits of each of them. So that helped me to kind of investigate into what actually differentiates one individual from the other, in as much as absolutely or at the absolute level we all seem to be one. I wanted to know the unique characteristics that makes a particular group of people or a particular individual unique as compared to all the others. Wow. So I didn't aim at doubting everything per se, but I only wanted to know the truth that is not being told in mainstream systems.
Did you find yourself in a lonely world? Because most people just go along with the general story.
Yes.
Most people go along with it. And here you are thinking, no, I need to interrogate this. I need to ask why. I need to do this. Anyway, you were quiet, so you probably wouldn't know you were in a very lonely world. But did you find yourself isolated?
In a way. Because there were times that I kept asking myself whether a group of people made up of lawyers, doctors, highly intellectual giants can all be wrong before me, that tiny boy with that educational background, which is nothing to write home about. But the more I questioned myself, the more I became convinced that I didn't know much, just like all other people, and that there's more for me to learn all the time. And I was not impressed with so many things aside the truth. If I'm able to after sleepless nights and all that, if I'm able to realize that, okay, this is closest to the truth as compared to all what we've been hearing, I become quite happy. Okay. So that motivated me to go along whether I was lonely or not.
Now, before I even come to where your love for appellation, so that now you're a certified appellation poet. The guy who owns the station is Kwesi Chum. And so he's Kwesi and he's Chum. And so what will his appellation be before we go for the break?
Kwesi Chum, Kwesi Boduya Chum Berma o yirifi ampasechi ya woko nasi ya wotu ne yo Berma katechi odintekere meye mrebo jasra meredeumo. Kwesi Chum iyo bia mpenyen boniding pa, mofra boniding pa, mensong boniding pa, eye tekrema boniding pa, o minitri eja onim fasem che. Abemfu mo boyafo, okomafo, okamafo, oyemafo, odimafo, ojemafo, ofamafo, omantamboyafo kofuko kodurofo no kwafo tekrema pemfo titirofo ya otu ansana afofretiem. Akura ema mo piao. So
that was appellation for Kwesi Chum. Now that's what Fabrimpong here does, has mastered the arts of words in our own tree. And as we go along, we'll find out how it is he came to fall in love with this. We're coming straight back. Thank you very much for staying, and like I said, my guest today is a fairly young man in love and believes in who the Creator made him to be, and that's why we are sharing his story here. Fabrimpong, so where did your love for appellation and all these big tree words, come in?
In fact, I realized I was a writer at the age of 8. I used to be very good with drawing when I was at the lower primary. I used to draw without watching any picture whatsoever, without having anybody on mind. But people used to come and watch and say, this resembles a man I know. And about 10 people will come and look at the same drawing and conclude that, yes, that's the man. Sometimes it takes more than a year before I meet the person in question. So I used to draw from, I don't know what inspired me at that time, but
Do you still draw?
No, I'm not.
Okay.
Yes. And then at a point in time, after drawing, I feel like writing something to correspond to the drawing. For instance, if I draw a hunter, then I will look at what makes a hunter a hunter. What is it that drives a hunter to the bush? What is it that makes him actually successful in getting his praise, like the animals, wild animals and whatnot? It means that there is a fundamental principle in hunting. So it pushed me into kind of researching into different professions and other backgrounds. So it was just a drive into what actually makes something what it is, including life itself. And the appellations came in as quite an afterthought. I didn't aim at just using big words, but after getting the raw history and the raw principles behind something, then I find a way of getting words to summarize it. So I wouldn't have to write 20 pages for a particular tribe, clan, whatsoever. It was the day I wrote a poem for a friend of mine who had lost his late father, So they actually asked me to write a tribute for the children in Tree, which I did. And when he was called to come and recite, he couldn't go because of stage fright. And I didn't like talking publicly at that time, in as much as I enjoyed writing them. So I was pushed by the mother to go and do it myself, even if it's just one line. And when I went and I started reading, they started clapping and all that, so it kind of encouraged me to continue. Before I realized, they were throwing monies at me, only for me to finish. And then they asked me, the Busuapenye asked me to come and MC the whole funeral. You know, the tribute and the biography time was the burial service.
Yeah, so after that.
And I wasn't someone who had been to funerals at that time. So I asked him what my role would be as an MC, which he said is nothing but announcements, donations, acknowledgement of dignitaries, nothing more, nothing so extraordinary. And because I had the appellations of clans and a few other things, I just added it freely, not necessarily sitting down to create anything so extraordinary. There were some I wrote, I recited without even writing them on paper. So I got a lot of money from that program without having, yes, a feel of how they were seeing it. I didn't see it so extraordinary, but they kept pushing that, oh, it's good, and all that. And people started coming for my number at that particular funeral. I wasn't using a mobile phone, so I only gave the phone number of a very good friend of mine who was more or less an uncle to me. So once in a while he meets me and he asks me why I have not been coming to him and that there have been so many programs. So I realized that, oh, then I need to take it more serious. So that's how it started.
I see, I see.
Yeah.
Okay, now before we continue, I'm from the Aduana clan, and my boss, Miura, is Nana Kwafakoto the third, who's the Aduana PSA of Akwamu, and then we have Nana Frakoma. So what will be our appellation?
Okay. Nana Kwafakoto.
No.
Kwafo Murosa. Akoto Pinsechi. Akoto Siu. Akoto Ejemi Ejembo tu prepisi okumati pay de shekron. Na yeke aduana na yereka aduana atwea ne abrade pese mo hene Fabrimpong yirifi ampasechi akoto dade a wo mmone kahiri amansan akuna akoto tenten eje ntechiri chehu abo bremo pompu ni oworo nka afa metin akoto Ejemi Ejembo tu prepisi okumati pay ni afra koma we ahene nananom mpasechi chia wotete wakuroja oja hia memo hene Fabrimpong onim ni oja fi nananom yamamomo piawo emamomo akuronto emamomo ahenewa na yaba nana kwawo ansasasere kusuide na kire se use okuro ndin ne den adumasa na kire se adum akokuroko abiesa wose sabe kafra ohane ohahia na yehu hatebrebe sisi ni sisi hia na yehu sisi kwabrafo tuntum ni tuntum hia na yehu tuntum kobri na edum ni edum nso hia na yehu edum mu eduponsa no kwasemene waye akobon tintin di odukwa akobon sasereku dense ne akobon afori Fabrimpong hunyafo na nanoma wodi hyenfere na woni kekafro enti na nakwaw ansa waye eye tafo jase bare makatachi a wonim ne a omanfo bedi nimni omanfo benom nimni omanfo beda nimni omanfo befura nimni a omanfo be hye nyinara nso omfa hoahua ho barima tenten grama wodi do metenten ani metwa kwantenten kokon tokwa tenten de nkoni metenten abotiri bofie kwawo barima papa bi ansa eye osrada awewi nnua abubo nnua barima kataji ado tekre meye mramo oja sana mere de omo anokwa wona waye okochiritwi mantamboyafo Sasashia Shia, Waran Sasuna, Wara Kokora, Wara Sen, Wara Nanse, Dokono de Wonquato, and some Mabro Pentempere, Madre Suko, Akofan Kunima with Rabufi and Timakra, Emao, Pia.
Mo. The last one was my appellation. One would say, how long would it take, to learn all these things? The clans, a bit of their history, a bit of their journeys, a bit of their struggles.
I don't think it has a definite time, because there are people who it depends on the strength of the brain and all that. I think that counts. And there are subconscious effects on each and every individual, which sometimes we can't define. At the end of the day, it's very useful and it helps a lot to get someone who has the truth or the true information as far as the development of these clans and whatever background is concerned.
You see, but like if let's say you were emceeing a program and Doma Hene came, you should know Doma Hene is a Diana.
Yes.
You should know Doma Hene is the twin of Kwafu Akutu.
Yes.
I mean, you should know.
Yes.
I don't know. Is it basic history or I don't know, in-depth history?
They are not all the time taught in mainstream schools.
No, it won't be taught.
So that's why nothing. If you want to even invent, you have to do extraordinary, not whether it's extraordinary or not, your own personal research. It's the duty of each and every individual on this planet to have a glimpse of what he or she wants to do in life. And if you conclude that this is what you want to do, you must know everything about it. Whether you have to starve and use your small pocket money to research on the internet, to travel to someone everybody thinks is a villager somewhere, whom you think is an unsung hero as far as historical records is concerned. If you think the man or a woman in question is a bank of wisdom in terms of helping you to achieve your definite major purpose in life, you have to do it. And I wouldn't boast, but at a point in time I had to pay for some of the information I got.
Of course.
Some at a point in time wasn't so useful to me. Others were so useful. And I'm not so impressed with me knowing the appellations of so many tribes and clans and other things. I think as far as truth is concerned, I've not been able to embrace it wholly or fully yet. I still have a long way to go.
My grandfather said, Professor Asaripoku.
Who is my grandfather and father at the same time.
Look at that. Look at that.
So
look at
my
that.
elder brother.
And he said the truth is like a baobab tree.
Yes.
So we all need to hold hands in order that we can embrace it.
Yes.
So that nobody has the absolute truth. But together, if we hold hands, we have the absolute truth. So you see, we share the same. So Professor Saripoku is my grandfather.
Thank you so much.
My mentor.
He has achieved a lot, yet he's so quiet and simple.
Yes.
He's, when it comes to living naturally, he's my pace setter. I usually don't kind of isolate individuals as pace setters. I deal with principles more than personalities. But I once went to Anansi Kwaim and Anansi Kura, and I had no other alternative than to give him a hug. I've started a small Fabrimpong Achiampong.
Now, embarrassingly, and let me confess on embarrassingly, I'm the only one in the family that hasn't been to Anansi Kura.
Oh, you need to. Let me go and show you.
And then, considering how close I am with Professor Saripoku, and probably I'm more traditionalist inclined in the whole family next to him, and yet still I haven't been to Anansi Kura. So I have to make a point to go to Anansi Kura.
Anansi Kura is made up of 36 acres of virgin forest. And when I say forest, I mean forest. Forest made up of extinct species. Species that are extinct to the world. You can get a lot of them there.
Maybe our next guest to be Professor Poku to come and also share.
Apart from the 36 acres, the Anansi Kura, which is the one he has touched, is made up of about between 3 and 4 acres. Made up of stones. Because we'll be able to
Professor Kofi Saripoku, I'll take a break here, and then when I come back, we'll continue this conversation. And then when we come back, more appellations will go away. Don't go away. Thank you very much for staying. So I'm sure now you're getting the gist as to why it is that my guest for personality profile is so young. And maybe, who knows, another 20, 30 years time when he comes back, my God, he will be so rich and complete authority in all things Ghanaian. How fulfilling is it for you? Let's say you are in a gathering and the Navrupio comes or the Yana comes, and you know a bit about his story, and therefore you can, shower some, relevant appellations towards him. How fulfilling is that?
At the end of the day, I've been through that on several occasions, and sometimes I'm not only satisfied with or happy because of the money they throw at me, but that I was able to do it without prior notice. I've been to several programs as an MC where all of a sudden you have personalities like almost all the late presidents who are alive, the three. I've been to programs, impromptu, where I had no other alternative than to recite the appellations. And you can't deviate from appellations. If you don't know it, you don't know it. If you are reciting it, means you should know what you are saying, and it should be the appellation for the person in question. So the fulfilling aspect of it is knowing it and doing it, not necessarily to impress, but to the satisfaction of all those concerned.
For you, in mastering your appellations, it's not just the words, it's knowing where they came from, why they came from, what they came from. Has it enriched you in any way?
It has enriched me. I'm more than rich. Because when it comes to richness or riches, it's not defined by what you have outside of you, but what you have inside of you. And as far as my understanding of the spiritual principles of life is concerned, I'm rich. As far as physical needs is concerned, I don't remember a single weekend that I don't have a program or I'm not booked to MC a program, no matter how big or small it is. Sometimes I do it freely when I realize the people I'm doing it for are not in the position to even pay. I do it for them freely, provided I'm not booked. There are times too when I ensure that I'm not taken for granted.
Of course.
Yes. But in terms of living a fulfilled life, I'm quite impressed with where I am, because for instance, I can't boast, that is something I shouldn't even attempt. But I must say I'm grateful to the original creator that I have my own house. I'm living in my own house. I bought my own land, built on it, turned the other parts of the land into my small forest full of things planted by myself.
Fabrimpong.
Cinnamon and aluguntugu or the bantungu, the sauce, and a few other things that I'm so happy just seeing that, even if, of course, I'm not the only one who enjoy, but at least starting something like that. I know that if every individual, no matter their background, were to also start something like that, we would have had a better world. We would have been living in a better world. So I think I'm rich.
I mean, are you still researching, or
oh yes,
as far as the clans you've done?
Education never ends. Education never ends. And when I say it never ends, I'm not talking about mainstream education.
No, of course not.
There have been super inventors who never stepped into a classroom. So as far as research is concerned, I've not even gotten to half of it. When you come to my room, there is television, but it is not plugged, and I don't remember the last time I plugged the television. This is not to condemn the watching of television, but I hardly watch television. I listen to radio once in a while as far as the news is concerned, but almost all the big boxes in my room are made up of nothing but books. Not books made up of only theses and theories, but researches that were initiated, compiled by myself. I've spent more than 10,000 or 20,000 or 50,000 just researching. Started from internet, internet cafes. Printing was quite costly, but I have big books with small font sizes, and day in and out, when I look at them, I even ask myself whether I'll be able to finish reading all of them if I'm even to spend more than 100 years before I die. Right? So as far as research is concerned,
you're still researching.
Yes.
I mean, like what's your next phase with regards to, I mean, like, you know, the Adriana clan and their...
Yes.
So, I mean, what's the next phase? To know all tribes that are Adriana, all tribes that are Oyoko, all tribes that are...
Yeah, I have most of them. And I'm trying to come out with a book on it. So when I started with a book, it challenged me to probe further. So now I've been able to meet a few other people, like chiefs and a few opinion leaders and other people within the society who are also a bank of that particular record. So I'm still researching into them, and I'm not only limiting myself to clans. I'm actually trying to come out with books that will open the energy side of brains of intergenerations, so that when you read a book, you are not reading it because of knowing only clans, but you are reading it because, apart from belonging to a clan, in terms of your spiritual individuality at the soul level and whatnot, the highest level of spirituality or divine, who are you? How do you know your Nkrabia, that is your predestined major purpose, if truly it exists? How do you be on track? These are my focus now, and I've never regretted getting there or focusing on that angle, because it has helped me to know that every religion on earth is very, very important. It has some truth, spiritual truths in life. So when you sit there or somewhere and claim your religion alone contains everything that is supposed to be known, maybe at a point in time you may regret drawing that conclusion. So it's also to inspire not necessarily to inspire alone, but to encourage each and every person to be who they are, rather than trying to copy someone's so-called glory or way of life.
Well, since we are in Gabanche's land, we cannot leave here without, sharing some appellations to the guns and whoever is the head of it now.
Nkrangeshi edukete kasem na okeana.
Yo.
We say ka nangme anate. Ka anate hue anangme. Na che se den. Winya edwa. Winya obo na odi aboso. Winya obo nso a. Winya edwe na odi abo. So wo hwe nkran abakosem a won ne Omang and ku a babiara woko bia nsum no hotena enti ne yefra won enemedefo ne abenfo a wokura ewiadoma nkoma ne yesodoma nkoma ne nsase doma nkoma ne mframa doma nkoma ne abode doma nkoma wura Doma nkoma wa doma nkoma adoma chocho wuro bensen adoma chocho wuro choni esisi brisi ni agudo brankata nkonkura mantenten me biaso yakitiriki ni akatra ka ne mpetiri pe ne mpatrapa ne nkikirede ne nkokrodo kwankwan chirebidi ama chirebidi abrempong apankran ni aprankeseku ni apanka branka chichi naraso ankasa esumasem safens won fan wagwa won ho game onganye fe Meternity asa.
And Cranfudawasi. And Cranfudawasi. So, I mean, what's the next for Fabrimpong? I mean, if you meet your age mates who are clearly alien to their own traditions, you said something before the interview, which I think was very profound, that when we were all asked to come to a table to show what we have made, it's very unwise to come and show what somebody did. And that's what we do, we come.
We boast with learning all the books of Shakespeare and all the other learned men. But as to whether we even know names like Imhotep and all the other people who were pure blacks, Kemet, there are a lot of intellectuals who are blacks, yet know absolutely nothing about even their own hometown. They sit here, some, not all, and boast of knowing what when America was founded, how Columbus discovered America and all that. When you ask us whether we know the dates when our own hometowns were established, we will start fumbling. When Columbus discovered America, was this land which we call Ghana now in existence, who were living here at that time. You see? And in Tree we have a proverb that Udupong koda nsum anase esubontin kodim frishia apempo a ere wode nchenyina mpa Sara ana se wode anoma akore bresi am nkesua koto akokọ bia tan pesu monsu a ere mpa ya akokọ bade biarada wode na wode na onsechi ebe ya wode nsu a ere nya wode nkosi awie menchen wonsa yem na biarada panyin so banyansani wo bu ne be won kana sem ye wo men yimu ana sabe ka fra ye nyina ni tuya ise pra densu ofen ankobra ye ka de hwahwa ye ho se wo chini a na wo ye achenkwa a wonum bremu ne wo de bremu ne pie wo tesi ho mu ne we na obenum enti yampan ne fo no ebi abomode ebi nso aboye ngabro sanse me na oti hei wo mu se sabe kafra obu ne nidi a ukurai emu yeduru enso menye ni se wo tumi a obetumi de ewura kwa brentu bi mu se wo re kwa akotu sika kokko ana ba bia nsu pue fi wo re kwa akose no And so, your woman, you will not broth of Babesen da. Obefa, yen sika koko. Obefa, yen feme goodina, what they call. We are on my young peppers and nine crata. I want natural $100 or so. $100 or the ink in a cherry. Ink in your papo and your papo, a fake and your fake, a would nipan or ye and you yaman or boy. Yen to me recess canon. Na kakra me kan say ye di sika kwasi broni atwa e de abada da yen say no ni tumi achia ye be say yensu asay ye mframa asay ye noban asay asase ye nam so asay wim nsakra nyina na ewi a bra bia ye ne nanom anan asefo be hu sampa na mpani ampa ne nuane ampa ampa so na ya ampa ampa se yen risika emmene sika ennum sika enhume sika enfre sika enfe sika en replace biara onyankopon bo ma yen no utumi fe sika kura mpo ento apo modin menye ebia wo sika ana wo wa hoden ana wani onyam ene sika wo ngahyehe wo nakem ebia na obi nso ne ema na nije ene apo modin a wotika ne ntonton nti braso say yen mabun ni nyina ye bisa ye ankasa ye ho se ne ya wofo kire yen no ni nyina ye no kwara na ne ya asofo ne yen asoma horo a ye wom akonfo malamfo me pese mabubodin na mom osom bia wom no it is up to you to rise up on your own feet, not on the feet of any other human being, but on your own feet, and question the source of your religion, the source of your belief, as to whether it can test the test of time and still be relevant to intergenerations yet unborn. Who we are, I am passe, Niaorekono, Osomono, approve Yachra, Ma Unimana, and as will be a cabintina also can be.
Well. So that was Fabrimpong Achiampong. Fabrimpong Achiampong, a young man who has decided to question faith, young man who has decided to believe in his blackness, believe in his divinity, study it, and now he's making money out of it. And one thing he said is that whichever path you have chosen, spend every penny, research into it, be a master at it. And once you gain your mastering at it, the money will surely follow. Fabrimpong, thank you very much for coming on the show.
In fact, I'm so humbled to be on your show. I'm so grateful for your call.
Grateful for you to come in to share your examples and your thoughts. And hey, I always give you the number 024 366 2001. 024 366 2001. Ironically, they're just down the road from Crown Apartamento. So give them a call, Tanti's Fashion. They give me my shirts for the show, so you can get yourself a nice shirt. Once again, thank you very much to Crown Apartamento for giving us the premises to interview. We'll be doing more interviews from here. Until I come back to you with another guest, have a wonderful, wonderful week. Thank you very much for watching.